Boston Street, where dreams take flight, small businesses grow, their future bright. From markets local to overseas, 2.3 billions within our reach with ease. In the financial district, they take their stand. We just the rules in a helping hand. Cut the fees, make trade less tough. Together we'll show that small is enough. Welcome back to the Conscious Edge, our podcast, where we share some poetic dose for you being consciously exposed, just reflecting, whether we're talking about leadership, emotional intelligence, startup, business success, team performance, productivity. We talking about just diving in business sectors. And I think our topic, based on this poetic rendition, our topic is really talking about small businesses of color, like to say color, just undeserved group, man. But we really talking about if more small businesses of color starting selling overseas, the state of Massachusetts could grow its economy by 2.3 billion every year. That is a data that's based on a report by the Brookings Institution that emphasized that expanding export activity among minority-owned business could definitely boost the state economy, because in Massachusetts, the projection suggests a 2.3 billion annual increase if small businesses of color reach their full export potential. Yeah, that's sort of the data, and that was a report that came out again, the Brookings Institution, talking about state export expansion and minority-owned businesses. So that's what we're talking about, because the reality here is about why not make money globally as well. I mean, it's about making money in Boston, in the state of Massachusetts, and then globally, because everyone's doing it, it's happening. But let's just make sure that we kind of pause and talk about small businesses of color, undeserved groups, from marginalized community, when you're Black and brown and Latinos and Asian and African immigrants, so on. I mean, whatever category and name you fit in, because the reality, it's very clear that we have to change some policy here. So let me break it down in a very simple way in terms of what we're going to be, what we talk about. The first question is, I think, what's the issue? If you are a small business owner, especially if you're Black, Latino, Asian, or from any other undeserved group, well, at the end of the day, you probably know how hard it is to grow, expand your business locally, let alone sell your product or services overseas, right? But why is that? Why is that? This whole thing about, excuse me, selling alone, your product, your service overseas, right? The rules, the paperwork, and costs of doing business internationally are confusing and expensive. That's the simpler way to explain in terms of being a small business. You already know how it is when you're a small business, the struggle. But I think in Massachusetts, we can definitely change that, because a lot of these rules were not made with small businesses or people of color in mind. It's not a new conversation. These are the things that we know. But I'm trying to simplify what's the issue and why is that. This whole thing about expanding overseas internationally, because, we believe, and I believe, and you believe, that every small businesses deserve a fair shot at growing locally and globally. That's why one of my expertise as a consultant, business consultant, is really advising and coaching people how to enter the African markets. But what's the goal, right? If we have to advocate or push an agenda or something, I think the goal is we basically saying that let's push for things that for fairer rules, fair, right? And more support, of course. Big shout out to the Black Economic Council of Massachusetts and so many other private public institution leaders and folks doing the work. So many names to mention, but Shout out to Beckma, of course. We've been partnering and together on this. Beckma, I've done so much for my firm, so on. But the point is, what's the goal, right? What's the goal? We pushing at the state level, more fairer state rule and more support. Do you know how many people even want to cancel the $500 LLC fee? Yeah, but I think the goal is like, how can we really push really for more state rule, more support? If you're gonna sell your product and services, not just in Boston, but across the world, right? But think about it like this, just like as an analogy. If a small businesses are like a plant, right? Then state program and funding are the soil and water. Does that make sense? Yeah, help us grow. But right now, that soil is only helping certain plants grow. Does that make sense? We need to make sure that everyone has what they need to thrive. And that's not a new conversation. Again, I think that a lot of solution, a lot of progress out there. We know that, but I'm just trying to kind of amplify the marginalized voices, kind of empower, uplift the conversation about in terms of the goal and also what needs to change. I think some specific things really focus on, maybe make it easier for small business in order to expand internationally, cut those fees. I mean, the state charge fees for things like trade license or export document. I get it, but for us, many small businesses, these fees add up fast, man. We don't have money like that. We want to either cancel or reduce the fee, especially undeserved community. That's just a suggestion. Number two, simplify the process, the paperwork, the rule for selling internationally. They just complicate it. I mean, not too many of us are expert like that. I mean, and just imagine trying to file your taxes with any help in terms of the international aspect of it. Yes, there are resources, there are organization, but I'm saying imagine trying to file your taxes with any help. That's what's like for small businesses owner try to export their good. I think we just need more easier step. I think that's the advocacy piece. More simplify the process. Another maybe one needs to be changed. Provide more funding, of course. Funding. Money, 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 money. Show me the money. But yeah, we do have. There's a great program called Steps. I think it's called State Trade Expansion Program. It's a great program. It does give grant to help your business sell internationally if you're thinking about export. And I have a great collaboration relationship with the Mass Export Center with the director. Paul is amazing. I mean, yeah, listen, people are doing the work. People are doing something about it. It's being addressed. I'm just trying to emphasize more on the thing that needs to be changed. And then I think offer a lot of free training, and many small businesses too just have to show up as well. Um, but I think it's good to really offer free training, because a lot of small businesses just don't know just how to get started with exporting. It's just a reality. Many travel on their own. We have to break a lot of silos. But why not free training? How to deal with international rules, free workshop, which I think I know for sure they are out there. They have attended myself, but keep that going. Why this matter? Because I think at the end of the day, look, the vision is simple. It helps the economy. That's it. When small businesses grow, they create jobs. We know this. If more minority-owned businesses start selling overseas, it could add billions to our state economy. So can we just be at the table? Um, yeah. Second to it can also level the playing field. That's it. I think right now we just have a lot of small businesses of color just don't have the same opportunity as others. That's a reality. Yes, I know I'm aware of a lot of progress, but still not enough. Changing the rule can give everyone a fair shot. I think that's the advocacy piece. It just benefit everyone too. When local business succeed, the whole community wins. Simple as that. You know, I mean, just imagine, for example, you're a baker in Boston, you make amazing cookies that everyone love, right? And you want to sell them to stores like next door, like Canada, I don't know, somewhere in Africa, Nigeria. I think we know that you need an export license. You got to pay fee. You got to navigate ton of rule, right? But I think what I'm saying, if we just make that easier, cheaper, uh, you can grow your business faster. So that's kind of one real example in that sense. You can be a jewelry maker in Roxbury, which is predominantly, minority, Black and Latinos and so on. Great entrepreneur. So think about if you create like a handmade African inspired jewelry, for example, and so many stores are here around Roxbury, you can sell you want to sell your product somewhere in Europe, somewhere in Canada, but you cannot afford the shipping fees or figure out a tax rule. So small business owners don't have the time to figure that out. Then provide more free training and of course grants, funding option. We all need capital. And I get it. It's all about capital, capital, capital. But let's just kind of focus on making things easier, simple. So yeah, at the end of the day, what's the plan? I think the plan focus on just getting more support from the states, bring businesses together. Of course, collaborations are always amazing. Some of us are collaborating, are connecting. We just got to do more. Um, keep hosting event and workshop that kind of address these sort of topic, but meeting people where they are. Keep talking to leaders. So meeting people where they are, simplify the process. Because at the end of the day, the data is very simple. Did you know that small businesses make up 98% of US exporter? Yeah, but minority owned businesses, yeah. I think we're less than a third of them. Why is that? Because if more small business of color, Black owned, minority owned, sell overseas more, Massachusetts could grow its economy by 2.3 billion every year. That's the data that I showed earlier. So yeah, we're in Boston, minority owned businesses, strong community. We make up at least 26%, right, of the city businesses. But it's still the same conversations. A lot of barrier that we face. We face the most barriers to grow internationally. That's the reality. But yeah, I think it's definitely a lot of good news that's happening, good progress. Oh, good news on my side. I mean, really elevating the conversation with certain key official. Shout out to the Chief of Economic of Inclusion, Mr. Shagun, Chief Shagun and his team of global affair. We're in conversation. We're making things happen. I'm connected with different leaders from different sectors, private and public, and so on. So we are here. It's out there. It's happening. I just want to elevate the conversation, pause and just reflect on that. How can you help? If you're a small business, share your story. We need people to share the story. Um, I'll be connected with a lot of folks throughout the year. But yeah, we need people to share the story. How are you struggling to expand? Because we traveling, many of us traveling already. We travel every day. It's happening. People do travel. They travel where globally, overseas, in their home countries, and they're coming back here, but still not understand there's a lot of resources. So we got to show up. We got to share our story. You got to also share what's holding you back. I know we have a lot of challenges internally, externally as well, but I think it's good to join the conversation and just keep supporting a local small businesses when you shop. And I'm one of your favorite go to local consultant, your partner in crime and business strategy, providing some insight, whether we talk about entering the African markets, whether we talk about providing some business strategy where I integrate art, psychological insight, culture strategies just to help you grow differently, help you make money. Mainly love to focus on team development, marketing and branding, how you brand yourself, how you market yourself. Focus on just complement those business operation in addition to just sell your product. You got to work on your marketing, on your branding. So many things that you got to work on. But yeah, so what's next at the end of the day? I think that there's a lot of people out there, a lot of experts. All of us are in this together, working on trying to improve legislation, especially the Black Economic Council of Massachusetts, who's really leading. Shout out to Beckma and the president, one of my favorite, Nicole Obi, and the entire team. We partner. I love the crew. I spoke last year at the Beckma Expo on how to enter the African market and really the conversation around just trade and make sure that small business can be at the table and there's global trade and so on. So, yeah, it's happening. I think you just got to join the conversation, keep going. I think with enough support, you never know. We can make Massachusetts just really leading, man. Everyone growing their business, not just the big corporations. So the call to action, I think, join, follow me, learn more. Let's stay connected because at the end of the day, man, It's about really making the case that we just want to simplify the process for small businesses, make things simple. And don't forget the little people because we do kind of, small business do contribute to the masters of the economy. So there you have it. Until next time, stay inspired, stay composed. Thank you for listening to another episode of The Conscious Edge, for you have been consciously exposed.